Well, welcome back everybody. This will be the update for July. Sorry it's running a little bit late, but I've had quite a bit I've been doing besides work. We're going to cross over here, and I guess we'll start over here as good as any. This is grower shipping now that it's not, I wouldn't say done, but it's just about there. I have 4 dock doors, 2 receiving and 2 shipping. The first 2 are shipping docks, the last 2 are receiving docks. So I know they're a little close together, which it maybe not be prototypical, but on my railroad I got to conserve room. So what I done was I played it out where I could receive and ship 1 car, or put 2 cars in there for 1 for each at a time, or have 1 giving car in any door. So that's what I chose. You're also looking at this new Athearn car. I got this sound car. It's a refrigerated car, Union Pacific. They're great cars. The other one I did not get in. I don't know what was going on with it. I think the order was shortened because they didn't have it in stock, so they only had 1. So 1 is what I got for now, but I have the other one still waiting on back order. It does pretty well. Yes, it's very sensitive to the track, but this is not a review. This is an update. I also got these here, these Scene Masters. These here from Waller's. I got to get the control box still for them. They are put in, they're just not wired up. And since the last update, you'll notice this road has been widened. This was the existing road, and that will be the extended part because of what I'm also working with here, but we'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, I went ahead and done the backdrop for this section, the scenery, got everything installed. Yes, that's a smokestack, but it does not belong to the grower shipping. It will actually be a photo drop of an industry in the background, but the pipe will be a 3-dimensional pipe, or a smokestack. I did get some decals in for my road, grade crossing signs and all that. Highway markings and all that good deal, but I can't do nothing until I finish the road, which before I can do that I got to extend this out a little bit, and I'm gonna say a little bit for now because we'll also get back to that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been working on. It is completely lit up, and it's pretty much where it's going to be. All I need to do is do a little bit of scenery. I got to tack down all the gravel over there. Since also then I've removed a signal head which used to be here. If you remember, that was another signal head like this one, and I removed that. The control box I left, the cabinet, relay cabinet, because what I did was I took the flashing caution here and I built another one and I moved it over to the side, and like this one over here on this side, where it says 65, which is CP65. That will also be there. Now here's the deal. I know that usually I build my own signals because I like to also operate my own signals as if I was a dispatcher or controller, and these were a little bit big. They are scratch built. However, I went through BLMA and I've got me the signal head individuals, and this is what it's coming up now. So I'm going to order some more of those for the back side of this one, and I'm also going to order some more for this signal head, this signal cavalier over here. Sorry about the shakiness. I'm just trying to cover a lot. So that will eventually have 4 signal heads on it as well. And then of course this part over here is where I've really been focusing on here in the last few weeks. After I had actually got done with this area, I jumped over here and started doing some more stuff. I have ballasted and weathered the track. I re-put the new grade crossing in, which I had to tear the old one out and put new track in there. There was just too many gaps in the old rail because this was the diorama originally, and now you can see that the track has been weathered and it's pretty much ready to roll, and that's what I've been doing, is running trains. The only part of the scenery I have not got to is putting some front trees, bushes there along the backdrop, getting that section in over there plastered up and doing trees with it, and of course actually getting the backdrop up here in the back part to this bridge section where this post is at. You can see I've already got it painted. I just have to put the backdrop in. I have got all of the shrubbery in, all the trees in that I'm going to do here. I even done the front part of this here with all the little bushes and whatnot, and I went ahead and continued up and completed this gravel road that comes up to the concrete. I've done a little bit of work on this building. It's also, as you can see, the old window it was in there. I've removed it. I just have to put a little bit of put mud in there and take care of that, and you'll never know it's there. Let's walk around again to this side. Oh, I hit my head. Wow. Okay, so this side here is the same exact thing. You can see how the track has been weathered. The front building here has got a door on it. I'm working on the weathering. Yes, it's in process. The fence, I'm not sure. I bought some fence, and I'll show you that in just a minute. I might keep that. I don't know yet. I'm gonna see what this other stuff looks like first. But yeah, I've bedded up the ends there. I've put some cautionary pieces on there, if you can tell, and all that's glued and solid. I've come down in here and got all this done up, weathered, ballasted, and set to pretty much go. Inside, you can see where the maintenance away building is lit up. No, there's still details to do to it, of course, but I'm still working on it. But all this has been graveled up and completed, and I'm happy with it. And the reason I went ahead and focused on this section is because the backdrop that's going to come up here, and I've talked about this, it's going to dip down here. And the reason it's going to dip down is right here below this control point. It's going to get right here and it's going to dip. Okay? And then it's going to come back up about right in here where my finger's at. And then it'll meet up with the corner of that backdrop there. The reason for that is so I can take pictures from this point of view, or come in from this angle and get in here point of view without having to worry about a backdrop blocking my way. But also, on the other hand, when I come around from this point of view, and I can still see, I'll be able to see the backdrop, and it'll be concealed, the back part of the bridge and down, and then right here on the back side here in the corner. So it won't be that big of a deal. I mean, there's trees here, so I'm gonna see what it looks like, but I really want to do that because I want to be able to access most of every portion of my layout for camera reasons. So this is what I've been doing thus far. Okay, this is what I've been doing this month. I did finish my catwalk on my bridge for this side. It's been quite a while. And all I gotta do now is put a cross railing up here, and if you looked at it, it's a catwalk, and eventually this probably will have some lights on top of it, but I'm not going any further with it right now. I'm still working on the track on this side. Most everything now is wired up and bust up. I've got my new electrical cabinet put together. It's not complete. It's just an empty shell because I have to put lights in there, and you can see where I've drilled the little holes, and I've got another one on this side. And this will be relay box, should be 54, I believe. So yeah, so what's going on now with this bridge is I built this bridge for, and if anybody's been keeping up, they know that this bridge will go over this portion of the layout from my plans. But I got to thinking about it, and I'm using a lot of ground throws right now, especially in the back. And this is why I said we'd get back to this situation. I wanted this to go all the way on down and put buildings and modern day stuff in here, but I'm thinking some of the dimensions of these buildings that I'm looking at are a little bit bigger than what I've got space for here. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I don't like jam packing. I've said this before 100 times. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the bridge. I'm not getting rid of the bridge. I don't plan on it. I've worked too hard on this bridge. And yes, this is all plastered, plaster tape with wood, balls of wood platforms. It's very, it's got a very gradual incline, and then it bucks upward, just like the real thing would. I've got some poles set up, supports here, and also for some overhead directions. And I've ordered some of those signs, not all of them. But if you can see here from modern traffic signals, I've ordered a lot of these here. And as long as with the road, with the road lines and everything, markings. So I'm not sure if I'm going to put the bridge there, because here is the epicenter of my operation. This is the yard. I will be, well, I would say a yard, but it's a set out, it's a storage area for the local. You've got grower shipping over here, okay? Over here you will have eventually some kind of a chemical plant or some sort, I don't know. And then and that's gonna be back over in the corner. And then this part here will be extended, and this will be more, probably at least two more industries. Because this is the lead into that, okay, which is not completed. But here is my thought on that. I don't want this bridge in my way. I don't want to be able to reach with switches. And even though I use wooden dowels to use these hand throws, when you start adding buildings and lights and trees, because all this is going to be lit up. I mean, every bit of this is going to be lit up. I don't want to break anything, and I don't want to be stretching my guts out trying to you know, which I'm pretty tall, but if you can see my arm, I'm coming over here and I'm already hitting the side of the bridge, okay? So, and this will have lights on each side. It will have, you know, vehicles on it. So I don't want to hit all that and mess all that up. So what I've been thinking about doing is I've been doing a little research and throwing it right through this section right here. It does fit. If I went all the way back to the corner there at the end and brought it all the way up to here, it hangs off probably about right in there. So here's the thing. If I do that, I can still get access to my little storage area here, and I won't have to widen this out so far. And this is the issue. Originally, I had this out where I was gonna, if you see these markings, these were where the abutments for the bridge were going. And that means all of this here was gonna go back at an angle. And that would have gave me more room in between, but then again, I reached the same dilemma. I'm looking at this from way back here, and I'm supposed to reach back here and throw switches. Which again, okay, when it's nothing here, it's not that big of a deal. But when you come back, and you have all this stuff in the way, it does become a big deal. Again, this is not a very big layout. It's not but 11 by 9. But I want the operational potential for a local and over the road. And I'm still I really haven't decided on passenger service. I doubt that. But at least to be able to run 2 freights and maybe do some local switching. Of course at different times, but I'm not really sure yet. But the bridge is not going to be trashed. I've worked too hard on the bridge, and it's about halfway through. So I've been thinking about maybe putting the town, or not the town, but I'm sorry, but the bridge over here with the industries, which the trains going under there would absolutely look awesome. But also, because all this was going to also be extended out, and it will be, and probably up to somewhere about right in here. Now, as long as that's like this, it's not going to be a bother to me. Here's the issue, though. If I move the bridge and I have this road, even if I do widen this out enough to make this grade crossing up to where the crossing Cavalier's at, which would be all right, what am I going to do with all this room? And when I get down here with this road, what am I going to do with that? I don't want to cross, and I don't want to cross, you know, I think there's 5 tracks here. Actually, there will be 6 tracks when I get my industrial feed into back here to the chemical plant. So there's no way I'm going to go and put a railroad crossing across that many tracks, and plus I don't want to break up my trains. I don't want my trains to be blocking a railroad crossing. That's what this passing siding is for, and this industrial lead. So either I build a shorter bridge or something different, or I go under and drop the road, which I'm not too crazy about, but I have considered it. And here's one idea. I've thought about cutting out, let me move my finger, cutting out around this area here, okay, up into this expansion joint. Maybe, yeah, at least this expansion joint. And have the road go down underneath here. Like it's some kind of viaduct or something that's going under the trains, where the trains are actually sitting on top. Build some retaining walls to make it look more like it's going under it. And I have thought about that, and that would give me a little bit of extra room to do my modern buildings that I want to do. Like I said, I want to do Taco Bell, I want to do a Shell station, I want to do a few modern buildings because that's what I do. So that's what I've pretty much come to terms with. I'm not sure yet. I'm playing with that idea, and I'm gonna tell you, I think that's what stopped the production on the rest of this right here, because I'm not sure of what I'm going to do yet. The trains are running. They're doing great. All my wiring is completed. I'm fixing to get a new system. I was talking about looking at the Prodigy Express 2 squared. It can hold up to 3 cabs. And it can jack into this one as a booster and use this as an extra cab jack. So that would give me 3 or 4. But the reason I wanted that is because this is a limited situation on the Prodigy, and that new engine I bought over here, which is a Broadway Limited, it will not consist. You have to have an advanced system to consist it with anything else. So I'm definitely going to get me one, because I'm getting me more of those Broadway Limited engines. So, but I'm only doing, like I said, 1 or 2 things at a time. I'm going to try not to overload myself and run my mouth too much, but it's just all ideas, and it's the whole fun of it. I'm not going to stress out over it. It's not about stressing. It's about enjoying it and planning and having fun. But yeah, so far I'm happy with this situation over here with the grower shipping. This is that fence I bought. It's from Plastruct. I'm going to see if I can get in here where you can see it. I'm sure you can cut this down to different heights and all. And then on the back side, it's got the poles in here. You can see them. And it's just plastic. And I mean, yeah, I could deal with that too. You know, I mean, I can work with that. I thought about getting that because I wanted maybe a fence around this over here, which I already do have one, but I built that out of real wire and screen. And to me, that screen looks more chain link and scale than the Plastruc product does. The Plastruc is thicker, and the screen is actually larger if you look at it. Look at those holes there. You could put your hands through that. If it was real live, you could probably put your head through it. Where if you go down to here and you're looking at these here, you can see that you might be able to put your hand through that. But yeah, I don't know. I tried it to scale, and it's hard to do. Of course, scale plastic is different from real life. But to me, that looks a lot better. It just takes time to do that, and then it gets bent up over time. You have to re-straighten it out or just rebuild it all together. I was also thinking about putting some around this area, but I'm not sure about that either yet. I've weathered this trailer. I've put it down there as a storage trailer. It was an old CSX transportation trailer. I faded it out a little bit. It's not super old. It's just weathered up a little bit. And I still got to put the office in there. I still got to work on my trucks. There's a lot to be done. Yes, there is. But what I'm trying to do overall is get the main part of the scenery done. I want to get this side completed, at least the major portion of it. And then once I get all that done, I'll probably start working from here and back towards this side, which I am working on this side over here. On signals and stuff like that and wiring, but this has got me kind of froze up. I'm not really sure of what I want to do. So, but yeah, this is where the water tower is going to go. I want the city water tower here. I'm going to build this up kind of about like that, what that backdrop is here with this hill, and it will probably slope down as well. But that's where the city water tower will go, in here. And then of course this will be your modern day town. It won't be nothing huge. It'll probably be a 2-lane, turns into a 2-lane with a turning lane in the center, and then it'll meet back up to become 2 lanes, widen out to become 2 lanes here with this bridge, or it will drop down below. And I'm thinking that's what I'm going to wind up doing, is dropping it down below. Because I want to be able to reach those switches, and I want to be able to work this yard. And I mean, there ain't nothing going on down here. I can see everything from here, but your first switch stand starts there, and you got that one, and then you got the next one, and then you got the next one, and then so forth. So I'm still not really sure what I'm going to do, but that's the update. That's what's been going on. I don't think I have anything else to add. I hope I didn't miss anything. The office over here is still being worked on. I don't think I'm going to light it up. If I do, I might put a couple of outside lights on it. But for the most part, it's just an office building. It's at a catty-corner slat for space and all that, because it's going to be a parking lot over here where these containers and these cars at. And I got to put some more sidewalks in right in here. I'm working on a little bit over here, but I got to finish that up as well. But yeah, I mean, at this point, this is where we stand. I'm happy with it. I think it's looking great. I'm kind of hitting and missing, you know, and doing different jobs and tasks and in between. I guess whatever I feel like doing for the day. And that's the main point. But all in all, it is coming along great, and I'm happy with the situation. I think it looks good. I just need to focus and figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of this before I really start to get the backdrop put in and get the scenery done. I want to make sure, and before I start buying structures, because the 2 structures that I want over here are actually a pretty good sized plants, and I'm probably going to wind up chopping some of that down, but they're going to take up a little bit of room. Of course, they won't be over here where the bridge is at. They'd be further out here, but until I try to get the dimensions offline before I order anything, and then when I order it, then I can get an idea and lay it down on the layout and see. And I did with the Taco Bell, and I was going to tell you from the last episode or the last video, I couldn't remember the name of the models. The models are actually from, it's not Pike stuff, it's the guy, shit, just went blank again. Wow. Anyway, yeah, I'm a dumbass. Excuse me. But anyway, so anyway, this guy is awesome. They do all their own laser cut kits, and I'm sure, hopefully, some of y'all know who I'm talking about. I don't have a computer, so I can't come back in here and put the words in later. But this is running short. I will show you one more item that I purchased, and these are some pretty nice cars, or pretty nice containers. This is Axon Group. This is actually a Thermo King, and it's actually a sound trailer. And I'm going to cut that on for you now if I can, without causing... I might have to shut this over here off so you can hear it. But when I turn this on, there's a little switch right here, and I'm going to turn it on, and then you can adjust the volume. It's low right now, so there's a little button right here, right adjacent. And now you can hear it. Yeah, nice container, very detailed, and like I said, I'm not doing a review on it, but I saw that when I was shopping and online, and I was like, man, I gotta get me one of those, especially the fact that I have all just dry box containers. This thing's highly detailed though. I mean, it's very nice. But yeah, that was the I think that was the last one thing I got when I've got my signals in, or my grade crossing signals in, and my sound car over there. That all come in together, and I got some other my decals and stuff like that. But yeah, I like these sound cars, and they are very touchy on the track, and they're very sensitive. If you have dirty track, you have to keep it clean. I was tipped off that you could use some transmission, I think it was transmission fluid. I can't remember the type, I think it was like ATF or something like that. And it will keep the electrical conductivity of the electricity going. And I put a little bit on the wheels, and it seemed to help, but I don't want to just like drench my track in that stuff, especially with some of these locomotives. I don't want to run that risk, but it did do a little bit well for the car. But like I said, it is very touchy, and I don't really care for that, because I'm going to tell you why. That flashing in device that I have over here is also track powered. And this thing right here does not miss and skip a beat. Now, I know it does not pull the voltage that this over here does, but it seems like to me they could come up with something a little bit better. These wheels are contacted with the layout, so they're on. When the power is on to the track, they're on. Just like the sound car is. So, I don't know what the deal is. They're very touchy. Yes, they've got some side frames on there, like the old... I can't remember the name of the locomotives, but to be honest, they sucked. But these here, they don't have a side frame. They have what they call a locking nut that actually rides in, and it never misses a beat. And it seems like to me, Athearn could have done something a little bit better. Maybe doing that with these cars, especially paying what I paid for it, because I paid, I think it was $69 or $79. I can't remember, but it was high. It was ridiculous. And I'm kind of glad that the other one they were out of stock on, because it kind of just saved me some money, and I got to kind of test out what this one was like. And I might get a few more that's non-operated, and maybe get one more eventually. But that will be something I'll do later after I get my layout itself pretty much closer to completion, and then I can go back into detail and upgrading my cars and my kits and getting better equipment as far as like for stuff like that with like wheel sets and all that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this short, and I say short, but we've already been at 31 minutes. So, but for now, yeah, this will be it. And hey, I appreciate you. If you like this, like and subscribe. I'm sorry about throwing you around. I'm on my phone. That's all I got right now. But yeah, she's coming along, and it's slow, but we're getting there. And like I said, questions, comments, anything, hey, like it, ask me, give me some ideas. Maybe one of y'all out there has some ideas. I know there's a couple of guys, Kyle being one of them. He's the one that gave me the idea about the chemical, putting it on the other side. I had more room than I did if I'd have put it over here where growers is at. So, but yeah, you know, like I said, like it, subscribe to me, and hey, I'll do the same to you. I love watching videos, I'd say as much as I enjoy making them, but I don't enjoy making videos. But I do enjoy sharing with you guys. And all right, so until next month, I'll sign out, and we'll see you later.